Welcome back to the Nightlife Podcast. Today, the team has repurposed another one of those IGTV episodes where I answer one of your most common questions. So we are going to get right to it and we are going to talk about concerts. Are concerts a good idea for the clubs, and are concerts a good idea for the venues? All right, I hope you enjoy this one and I will see you at the next episode. Welcome back, and today I'm going to answer another one of your questions. Are concerts a good idea in the nightclubs? All right, so I'm going to answer right away, and the answer is it's quite simple. It depends. All right, so it's not as simple as you may think, but the reality is that concerts may be good, but maybe not. So it all really depends on a basis of different things. Number one, the most important thing that you got to factor in is your budget. Where does your budget come from? Is, depending on your deal. So if you have a deal where the venue, say you're a promoter and you're producing the events, and then the venue is providing you with a pretty lucrative budget for concerts, and it doesn't come from your side of the equation, then looking at your deal, it may be a good idea to do one. Now, how often are you gonna do one? That's a different question. All right, so that's budget. Then the sales. Why the sales? Because the sales are really going to define your budget if you are the one putting the money into the whole concert idea, right? So budget, if it comes from somebody else, maybe if you have sponsors that are going to pay for this, if it's an artist that is going to do like a showcase and they're charging really cheap. A lot of the times when an artist is charging cheap, it probably means that they don't bring a crowd. Or sometimes you get lucky, you have a good relationship with, their management or themselves. And, it might just be that they're going to launch a new song and they want to do an event, and you got lucky to get chosen and picked for that one event. Or sometimes they're in town for a bigger concert and they're available on the night before or the day off or the night after. At those different circumstances, you got to, define, all right, so how much people I'm going to be able to bring with this artist if I have such short notice, right? Let's say I have a concert in 5 days. Am I able to bring the same crowd that I would if I had a month to promote it? Is that difference of a price between the price I'm getting today for the special price or whatever for a short notice, is it worth it? Or is it better to spend the whole budget on the full, event in a month and bring 5 times as many people? All right, so it all really depends on those. Then also there's places, where you already have a crowd and all you want to do is give them something back. Sometimes it's good to do something like that for them. Give the crowd, the clientele, you have a built, venue event that's been going for years and you want to give back. Yes, that's a good idea. What is it that I do not recommend? What I do not recommend is to become event-driven night. That's not something that I recommend at all. And what is an event-driven night? It just means that every week you have some kind of concert or theme party going on every week. No, you need to drive people to your venue or to your event because they want to be there. They want to hang with you. They want to hear the music from the DJ. Or if you have a live band every week, it's a different story. But they want to come back for whatever you have, for what's usual, for when they know what to expect. If you have something that's event driven, then the moment that you decide to not go with an event, it's all gonna flop. People are not gonna show up again because they're gonna be expecting you to give them more than what you are giving now. All right, so it depends on the venue. If the capacity of the venue can afford that, the artist, if the venue has some kind of staging. Unless you have an artist that is willing to perform without a band or without any big, equipment behind, then you can put them anywhere. Those are usually, cheaper events. It depends also on the cover that you have at the club. It's another factor that you got to put in there. What do you usually charge your clientele? Let's say you have a $20 cover, you're going to have an artist that's going to cost you. The artist is charging you, let's say, 15 to 20 grand. How much more cover do you have to charge your clients in order to make that extra money from the door alone? Or are you willing to not make it at the door, have to get some sponsors and make it back from your percentage of the bar? It's all up to you. most of the times that you do a concert, you have to have one thing in mind. What am I trying to do? Am I trying to make money? Am I trying to build brand? Am I trying to build a relationship with the artist? Am I trying to give something back to the client? So just make sure that you know exactly what it is that you're trying to get out of it. But don't think that every time there's an artist, even though the club might be completely packed, you may not be making money, all right? So one last thing, do not forget about your regulars. Those people that show up every week, they might be there for different reasons than the artist that you are, is performing for you on a specific night. Try not to overcharge those people because they don't really care about the new reggaeton guy that's out there and they have never heard of that new song that they're performing, and they may just not care, but they really do care about you and coming back to your venue. So factor in all those different things and figure out if it's worth it or not. It all really depends. See you at the next IGTV.